Hello everyone and welcome to our weekly wrap-up of news stories that made the headlines. I'm Nicole Cordobes and this is the MB Rundown. Thousands of devotees joined the annual traslacion of the image of the Black Nazarene, which began before dawn at the Quirino Grandstand in Rizal Park Tuesday morning. Devotees believe that coming in contact with the image, touching it by hand, or wiping it with a towel can cure even the most severe illnesses. Some, however, joined the procession as a way of showing their gratitude to the Black Nazarene for all their blessings. The transfer of the image of the Black Nazarene to its andas or carriage by the hijos was accomplished without a hitch, unlike in the past when devotees would surge towards the image to touch it even before it gets placed on its carriage. The andas left the Quirino Grandstand at around 5 a.m. and devotees remarked at the quick pace of the procession and how the carriage swiftly made its way out of the huge sea of people. But at around noon, more devotees flocked towards the image and slowed down the procession while it passed through the Jones Bridge. Before midnight, the andas reached the San Sebastian Church where the traditional dungao took place. The tradition of dungao was based on the moment when the Virgin Mary went to see the suffering Jesus Christ while on his way to Calvary to be crucified. The devotees took about 22 hours to transport the image of the Black Nazarene from the Quirino Grandstand to the Quiapo Church. The Philippine Red Cross have recorded that most of the injuries were foot abrasions from devotees who tried to get close to touch the image of the Black Nazarene. Several devotees also fainted while in the middle of the procession. First aid services and Red Cross volunteers were stationed at the path of the procession, complete with spine boards and other medical equipments in case of any medical emergency. Members of the Manila Police District and NCRPO police officers were also deployed in the area, including members of the Philippine Army, to ensure the safety of the devotees and maintain peace and order. Based on the survey results of Pulse Asia released last Monday, President Rodrigo Duterte continues to enjoy the highest approval and trust ratings among the country's top government officials a year and a half since assuming the position. The nationwide survey conducted from December 10 to 15 among 1,200 respondents found 80% of Filipinos appreciative of the work done by President Duterte in the last quarter of 2017. Only 7% expressed their disapproval with the president. Also in the survey, 82% of Filipinos expressed continued trust in the president, while 6% expressed distrust in him. Among the country's top government officials, Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno obtained the highest disapproval and distrust ratings. Sereno's approval rating has declined from 35% in the third quarter to 31% in the fourth quarter. Her trust rating was also down from 31% to 27% at present. Most Filipinos remain appreciative of the work done by Vice President Leni Robredo, whose ratings increased to 59% from 57%. On the other hand, Senate President Aquilino Pimentel III garnered 57% from 55% last quarter of 2017. Meanwhile, Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez has almost the same approval and indecision ratings with 42% versus 37%, as well as trust and indecision scores of 37% versus 43%. Pulse Asia pointed out that only Alvarez and Sereno had notable changes in their performance and trust ratings between September and December 2017. The House Committee on Population and Family Relations has endorsed the plenary approval of a bill seeking to legally recognize the civil effects of church annulment decrees. The panel, chaired by Laguna Representative Sol Aragones, sought the approval of House Bill 6779, principally authored by Deputy Speaker and Cebu Representative Gwendolyn Garcia and later Representative Yeda Marie Romualdez. The bill provides for the civil recognition of church annulment decrees and provides for the determination of the legal status of children of spouses who have acquired church annulment decrees. The bill provides that whenever a marriage duly and legally solemnized by a priest, minister, rabbi, or presiding elder of any church or religious sect in the Philippines is subsequently annulled or dissolved in a final judgment or decree in accordance with the canons or precepts of the church or religious sect, the said annulment or dissolution shall have the same effect as a decree of annulment or dissolution issued by a competent court. One of the suspects in the abduction and murder of Korean national Ji Ik-ju has been turned into a state witness by the DOJ. The Angeles City RTC Branch 58 has already granted the motion of DOJ prosecutors to discharge SPO4 Roy Villegas, who is one of the accused, as state witness. Judge Irineo Pangilinan Jr. explained that the law allows the dismissal of an information as to one of several persons accused of a crime in order that he may be utilized as a witness for the state on condition that he testifies against his co-accused in the commission of the crime. Pangilinan agreed with the point raised by the prosecution that the testimony of G's maid, Marisa Morquicho, is very limited as it is only confined to the alleged kidnapping of victims G and Morquicho, but not on the actual killing. Apart from Villegas, also charged were Superintendent Rafael Dumlao, SPO3 Ricky Santa Isabel, retired police officer Gerardo Ding Santiago, and Jerry Omlang. G and Morquicho were abducted on October 18, 2016 from the former's residence in Angeles City under the pretext that police were conducting an anti-illegal drugs operations under Oplantok Hang. The Korean was brought to the PNP headquarters in Camp Crame, where he was killed the same day. Morquicho was eventually released. Even after killing the Korean, the suspect still contacted G's wife on October 30, 2016 and demanded for ransom for his release. After a series of negotiations, the wife delivered 5 million pesos in ransom money in front of the Central Town Mall in Porac, Pampanga on October 31, 2016. On November 2, 2016, the suspects demanded an additional 4 million pesos, but G's wife refused after they failed to show proof of life. Senate President Aquilino Coco Pimentel III said the Senate will resume deliberations on the various proposals seeking to reinstate the death penalty as capital punishment as soon as it resumes regular sessions this month. Pimentel said the hearings would now be led by Senator Manny Pacquiao, who has filed several bills and supported the restoration of the death penalty, especially on rape, kidnapping, and other heinous crimes. The Senate leader said the death penalty bill is one of the commitments made by the Senate majority with the House leadership, which has already passed their own version of the measure of the third and final reading last year. At least 217 lawmakers at the House of Representatives voted in favor of restoring the death penalty. House Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez has lashed out at the Senate for supposedly failing to pass their own version of the measure, despite President Duterte's desire for the measure to be passed into a law. Aside from Pacquiao, other senators who have filed bills reviving the death penalty are Senate Majority Leader Tito Sotto, Senator Panfilo Lacson, JV Ejercito, and Sherwin Gatchalian. And here's some good news coming your way. Public school teachers will be the next beneficiaries of a planned salary increase in government. After the government sought to double the pay of soldiers and policemen, President Duterte now wants to raise the salary of government teachers by using the proceeds of the next tax reform package. Following the enactment of the law lowering income taxes but raising excise tax on fuel, tobacco, cars, and sweetened drinks, the Duterte government will push for the passage of the second tax reform package to sustain infrastructure spending and keep a stable budget deficit. Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez III recently said they will submit the proposed second of the 5 tax reform packages to Congress this month. The DOF proposal aims to lower corporate income taxes and modernize fiscal incentives. Dominguez said these additional tax reform packages are not really designed to make more revenues, but designed to make the system more fair. The local firecracker industry will likely be shut down after President Duterte has pushed for a total ban on firecrackers to ensure public safety. According to the president's spokesman, Harry Roque, the president has called on Congress to pass a bill prohibiting the use of all firecrackers and pyrotechnic devices in the country. The latest presidential decision was reached during a cabinet meeting in Malacanang last Monday. Once the bill is implemented, about 75,000 people working in the firecrackers industry will be affected. The president is very much aware of this and that he promised to provide alternative jobs to workers who will be affected. Last year, Duterte signed Executive Order Number 28 restricting citizens from using firecrackers at their homes. Only community firework displays have been permitted as designated places under police supervision to minimize the risk of injuries and casualties. North Korea agreed Tuesday to send a delegation to next month's Winter Olympics in South Korea as the bitter rivals sat for rare talks at the border to discuss how to cooperate in the Olympics and improve their long-strained ties. The two Koreas' first talks in 2 years were arranged after North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un made an abrupt push for improved ties with South Korea after a year of elevated tensions with the outside world over his expanding nuclear and missile programs. Critics say Kim may be trying to divide Seoul and Washington in a bid to weaken international pressure and sanctions on the North. South Korea's Vice Unification Minister Chun Hae-sung reported that during the talks, the North Korean delegation said it would send an Olympic delegation, which includes officials, athletes, cheerleaders, journalists, and others. The South Korean delegation, for its part, proposed North Korea to send a big delegation and conduct a joint march during the February 9-25 Games opening and closing ceremonies. Chun also said that South Korea also suggested resuming temporary reunions of families separated by war and offering military talks designed to reduce the animosities in the frontline areas. South Korea also stressed the need to achieve denuclearization of the Korean peninsula. North Korea responded by saying the two Koreas must try to promote peace and reconciliation through dialogue. Hollywood spoke with one voice at the Golden Globes last Sunday to declare war on the film industry's culture of sexual harassment and abuse as it kicked off its annual awards season on a rare serious note. Crime drama 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri was the big winner of the night with 4 trophies, giving it momentum ahead of the all-important Oscars in March. But the awards podium played secondary as numerous stars called for the need to heal and move forward. Actress and media mogul Oprah Winfrey received a Lifetime Achievement Award. She used her acceptance speech to make a stand and said that speaking your truth is the most powerful tool we all have. For too long, women have not been heard or believed if they dare speak the truth to the power of those men. But their time is up. Her acceptance speech earned a standing ovation. The industry's elite turned the red carpet black for the Globes, giving up bright colors in a fashionable protest against disgraced mogul Harvey Weinstein and others ensnared in allegations of misconduct. The overall message at the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's champagne-drenched annual prize giving was a call for continued change. Meryl Streep, who is a nominee for her role in The Post, said on the red carpet that people are aware now of a power imbalance. It's led to abuse in our industry. It's everywhere. And for this week's Thought to Ponder On. You will never reach your destination if you stop and throw stones at every dog that barks. That is by Winston Churchill. And that's it for this week's edition of the MB Rundown. I'm Nicole Cordobes. Have a great weekend, everyone.